Today on Softball 360, Team USA preps for the season and world stage as the fast pitch ladies get down to the business of team building. Find out where Flip Philby and Grand Slam Denny Crod of Miken go to get fueled and fired up for the Stadium Power Tour in Pittsburgh. Venus Taylor is standing by in Oklahoma City, ready to introduce the 2015 class at the ASA Softball Hall of Fame. It's a Pittsburgh panorama, and Softball 360 presented by the ASA starts right now.
Excited to bring you the news, features, and the how-to.
All right, it's time to get it on.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the best place for news, features, and the latest in the world of softball. I'm Carly Applin, and welcome to Softball 360. Leading off today, Team USA, a hand-picked team of softball superstars ready to show us their mad skills. We pick up the action in Houston, Texas.
This is the jersey that dreams are made of. Team USA.
You know, you can't really describe it. So you don't want to get, too amped up or anything like that. You're just going out there and you're playing between the lines just like we've been doing since T-ball.
For a softball athlete, wearing the uniform for Team USA is a moment that transcends the sport.
I don't know, like my dad and I always talked about it as like kind of a dream. We also talk about winning the lottery.
It's something that I worked for and I've been dreaming about my whole life. So for it to actually happen and become a reality it's really a dream come true.
But getting to the world stage takes plenty of old-fashioned hard work, sweat and strain, no pain, no gain. That's part of what we discovered when we caught up with Team USA. The long journey to a championship began in Houston, Texas, as the national team played exhibition games against the Team USA juniors.
It's a way bigger honor to wear USA, so just trying to represent my country as best as I can.
But on this day, Team USA was waging more than a battle on the field. They also had a doubleheader with Mother Nature.
Here are the latest coordinates now from the National Hurricane Center.
We saw some localized flooding in the streets.
Tropical Storm Bill was heading in from the Gulf of Mexico to Houston and provided an additional challenge.
Dodging raindrops and competing against the junior team.
For head coach Ken Erickson, it's all about teaching. Coach E believes that coaching and managing a team starts with being a teacher first.
To me, I always got a kick out of teaching the game and how to play it the right way. Melding and molding the chemistry and the personalities. And, we might not have the 17 best players in the country talent-wise, but we got the best 17 to make up a unit that's going to continue to win. If you don't win in the locker room, you don't win in the dugout, and especially with young women, you're not going to win on the ball field.
We've been together for a week, but everyone's gelling well and we're getting along and laughing lots, and that's always a good time.
As far as camaraderie goes, fantastic. As far as comedy goes, unbelievable. Now let's translate that to having a good time on the field and winning.
The wet weather, it didn't keep Houston softball fans away, as thousands showed up to meet their softball heroes.
It's just an incredible sport. You can play for all girls around the world. Yeah, I'm going to take mental notes. I'm going to make sure that I know what to do.
I think anytime you can show your daughter what they can do in their lives, it's pretty amazing.
It is a great sport. It shows leadership, it shows teamwork, and it shows that win or lose, it's all a game.
Softball in America is on an upswing, with record-setting TV ratings on ESPN at the recent College World Series in Oklahoma City. The logical follow-up? It's back to the Olympics for Team USA in 2020.
The momentum seems to be tremendous this time, and obviously the ratings for college softball in the United States and the College World Series throughout the world right now is at an all-time high, and I think that's because the game is being played better. The athletes are better. It's more of an exciting show, and the Olympics are about a show. It's not just about competing for the gold medal, but it's about representing the sport in a capacity that you want it to, and I think we're finally getting that point. And I think we've also cultivated the sport across the world, and ASA USA Softball has done a phenomenal job, along with the International Softball Federation, of spreading the gospel of softball throughout the world, and we're seeing that now. So I'm pretty optimistic, man. I'm very optimistic.
Being optimistic is a big part of the game plan for Team USA and Coach E. As he builds his team for 2015, the world is watching, and soon it's showtime for Team USA.
For more on Team USA, head to their website, and here's a quick look at their schedule and when you can catch them in action. More Softball 360 coming at you.
When Softball 360 returns, Venus Taylor is in Oklahoma City at the ASA Hall of Fame with the latest news on the softballers who got the call from the Hall. Teams Miken, Combat, and Easton are ready to test PNC Park in Pittsburgh in round 3 of the Stadium Power Tour. Softball 360 is brought to you by ASA USA Softball, the national governing body of softball in the U.S. By Easton Sports, there is a difference. The difference is Easton. By Miken Sports, elite equipment for the elite player. Miken Sports. By DeMarini. Upgrade your game with the DeMarini Stadium CL22 and Flipper Aftermath. And by OfficialGear.com, the one-stop shop for umpires and officials.
Let me ask you a question. Who inspires you?
Jessica Moore.
Michelle Smith inspires me.
Greatness begins with a dream. Legends inspire dreams. Join the USA Softball Legacy Club and help us keep the dream alive.
Welcome back to the show that knows softball is the sport of the summer. The world's greatest softball home run hitters are hitting their stride, and we're going to take a look at how we got here and what's around the bend.
The ASA Stadium Power Tour turns to the almighty Berg, home of the Pittsburgh Pirates. PNC Park is one of the best in the bigs and consistently rates as one of the premier parks in all of Major League Baseball. PNC may be the perfect blend of location, history, and design. Let's start with the location. PNC sits along the banks of 3 major rivers.
Muddy waters rolling every wave I go. Monongahela, Allegheny, Ohio. I ain't gonna cross the river. I don't go across the river. If I go across the river, I'll never find my way back home.
Sure, you can boat to the ballpark, but perhaps the best way is to stroll from downtown across the Roberto Clemente Bridge. The rough limestone walls of PNC are as rugged as the majestic statues of sluggers Clemente, Willie Stargell, and Bill Mazeroski. The 38,000-seat capacity locks in intimate seating, and the wide-open outfield provides a sweeping panorama of the Pittsburgh skyline.
This is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm glad one of my last stops in my career will be at this place because it's beautiful.
At its closest point, the Allegheny River is 443 feet from home plate. And the logical question, will there be show bomb splashdowns today?
I don't know about that. I'm just going to go up there and have some fun with it, and hopefully I can splash down maybe one. That's the goal.
To properly slug a home run, you need plenty of power. For a pregame meal, Team Miken went for protein and a Pittsburgh tradition at Primanti Brothers.
Oh, that's going to help them. Nothing but. They got it, man.
Since the 1930s, Pittsburghers have wolfed down these one-of-a-kind Sammies with everything on them, including French fries.
They're getting a full-course meal on a sandwich. Home run power, you're right.
Flip Philby and Grand Slam Denny Crine are fueled and ready. Once they arrive at PNC Park, it's all about the business of a home run show. And it starts with how you hold, grip, and swing the bat.
When I grip the softball bat, I use 3 on the bottom hand, hanging my pinky, and then I use 2 fingers on the top with an overlap, kind of a golf style overlap grip. And what I'm trying to do is get my wrists to whip through.
Pretty much standard baseball grip. The only thing different is I overlap the bottom part of the knob with 2 fingers. But outside of that, I'm pretty standard. It was a consistency thing with me.
And it's just kind of an old habit. So, I mean, you know, an old dog is hard to train. And like I said, one finger off the knob, I get just that extra leverage where I can't really control the bat when I really lay off of it. So I'm conventional.
Showtime in Pittsburgh. Teams Miken, Combat, and Easton are ready to take on the home of the Pirates.
One person to keep an eye on is David Miller. He was the winner of round 1 of the Miken Freak Tour, and he played for the Pirates. Now let's find out what goes through the mind of a player as they head to the plate at an MLB park.
That first time, it's definitely nervous. You know, each year, the first time we hit, you get a little cotton mouth. It's hard to do anything. It's hard to talk right. Be 30,000 people in the stands, and they're ready to boo you if you don't hit any. So it's a fun feeling, but it's a nervous feeling, especially if you just get that one opportunity to do your thing.
When we return, reporter Venus Taylor takes us inside the ASA Hall of Fame to meet the class of 2015. And why is David Miller both the luckiest and most nervous softballer at the plate? The answer when Softball 360 returns.
When the nation's best college softball teams gather, the logical follow-up, great plays. It all happens at the ASA Hall of Fame complex. Venus Taylor drew the assignment and is standing by in Oklahoma City.
Hey everyone, we're at the Hall of Fame Museum in Oklahoma City where we honor the greats of the game, and there's always something to celebrate.
The National Softball Hall of Fame is the ultimate home for any player, coach, or even umpire who aspires to greatness in the sport. With 371 inductees, the National Softball Hall of Fame is among the most difficult sports halls in the nation in which to gain membership.
It's great to see who's laid the foundation and remember the history of everybody that's been a part of the success of the sport of softball.
Minimum qualifications for induction into the Hall include selection to at least 3 ASA All-America teams at the major or super levels. A player must also have been retired from active play for a minimum of 3 years.
Oh my gosh, there's some of my friends. You got Dot Richardson, Michelle Smith, you know, just 2 great former Olympians who are still involved in the sport today, making it what it is. And here it is. This is the Olympic room. I love this room. I remember being a little girl and watching these athletes on the Olympic stage and relive the history of seeing these great ones and all that they've accomplished in the sport.
We designated a room in the museum, dub it the Olympic Room, and it's probably our most popular exhibit that we have. A lot of people recognize the superstars like Jenny Finch and Crystal Bustos, Stacey Newman, all of those softball greats, and it's fun to come out here in the summer and see people sitting in there watching the last 3 outs from the 1996 game.
Time now to meet the class of 2015. Congrats to the class of 2015.
More Softball 360 coming at you.
When we return, meet David Miller. Big Dave qualified for the ASA Stadium Power Tour when he purchased the Miken Freak Tour package, and his debut puts him at home plate at PNC Park. Can you say nervous? Teams Miken, Combat, and Easton are ready for an old-fashioned slugfest at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Softball 360 is brought to you by ASA USA Softball, the national governing body of softball in the U.S. By Combat Sports, not all bats are created equal. By Evil Sports, the best softball on the planet is evil. evilsports.com. By bpathletics.com. For the best service and price, bpathletics.com. By softballcenter.com, the site for major softball news. And by officialgear.com, the one-stop shop for umpires and officials.
Get ready as the ASA Stadium Power Tour heads to what was once known as the Steel City. Today, Pittsburgh has reclaimed its luster, and the world's greatest softball home run hitters take on PNC Park, home of the Pirates.
Definitely in the river.
10. 10's the number.
Try to put up a decent number for everybody to chase and see what happens.
Each slugger gets 15 swings. Each homer's worth 1 point, except the last one. It's the almighty money ball, and it's worth 2 points and could break a tie. Leading off, Combat's Johnny Quick Draw McGraw. It's his first time to hit in Pittsburgh, and out of the gate, he's ever so close. But quickly, Johnny Mack dials it in with back-to-back blasts, firing on all cylinders. Nice flurry and finish, but hard to hurdle that slow start today. Easton's Brian "The Ball Will Be Flying" Wegman jumps in. Fresh from a 14-for-15 performance in Houston, he picks up right where he left off. Check out his swing in real time. Now we'll slow it down. That is textbook form. And it leads to kaboom! And a new leader so far. The season debut for Miken's Grand Slam Crine, the three-time champ on the Power Tour has plenty to prove this season. And he leaves, no doubt about it. DC is back. The classic Crine swing is all there along, with big-time power from his Miken DC 41 bat. One after another, Crine rage. And on the money ball, count it. And yet another new leader. Stepping in, Combat's Tower of Power, Chris Greinert. And we do mean big, at 6'7" and close to 300 pounds. Big Bat Chris is one tough customer at the plate. He led his team to the ASA title game at the Super National on CBS Sports last season. In his spare time, you can find Chris in the gym. He's a power lifter, but needs more than brawn today. The hefty lefty is up. Kevin Flip Philby, famous for his big-time roundhouse swing. Flip earned the title by working hard and by going big, plus being consistent. And that ball is headed to the river. The big man from Delaware, Ohio has 7 softball world titles under his massive belt and shows what the combination of youth, power, and a classic swing can do with the Miken KF30 Philby Supermax bat. And he cannot top his teammate, Denny Crine. Philby, 6 points. The last man standing, David Miller for Team Miken. David purchased the Miken Freak Tour package and qualified to hit before the Pirates and Milwaukee Brewers game. He quickly proved he's the real thing with back-to-back blasts. Big Dave played for the Pirates, Phillies, and was a first-round pick of the Cleveland Indians, and he knows his way around a ballpark. And oh yeah, he's making the most of this opportunity. It all comes down to the money ball for the victory, and yes sirree, Miller time. Talk about living the dream from the Freak Tour to champ. Wow.
For your ASA Long Haul Bombers. Way to go.
You know, it was a reward for me to get out here and come hit and show my stuff. So I definitely got in there. The nerves were definitely kicking.
So here's a look at the final scores in Pittsburgh. David Miller, welcome to the tour with 11 big points and a victory at PNC Park.
A great show along the banks of the Three Rivers in the almighty Berg, and the points battle is starting to shape up. Keep in mind that only 5 Bombers will qualify for the finals on September 12th in Miami, and the new Marlins Park is one that you're going to want to check out. That's all the time we have for you. Make sure to send us your story ideas at softball360.com and hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Carly Applin, and as I like to say, get out to the park and play.
Next week on Softball 360, play ball in the Great Northwest at the Valley Invitational from Hillsboro, Oregon. More than 200 teams have gathered along with some of the best college coaches, scouting for the next big thing. And when you say big, you gotta be talking about McQuade's, the largest softball tournament in the world. We'll have some of the highlights and stories next week on Softball 360, presented by the ASA.